Hello! I thought I'd do a bit of a garden life update. Not much has happened since the last video, but we have had some garden time this week. We've been appreciating our garden a lot more. G did a bit of cleaning up of the garden and just making it look really pretty, so I'm going to show you what it looks like. It looks very nice and trim, very nice and grigito. So what you hear behind me is Garrett watering the lawn because he's trying to bring it back to life, revive it, replenish it. It looks really nice and well looked after, so I'll show you right now. So the weeds have been pulled out. Garrett thinks that these are daffodils. Can anyone tell us? I don't think that they are daffodils. Does that look like a daffodil to you? Looks like a weed to me. Anyway, he has been cleaning up the weeds. That's a dead Christmas tree we're trying to save. And mowed the lawn. It looks really nice and pretty. And then this is clean. Very lovely. It was quite unkept for a while, let's put it this way. We are now reseeding the lawn because it's got a bit of a bold patch there. I'm gonna get a close-up interview with the man in action over here to show us the process. But we'll show you the process and the products that we're using.
So what happens is you buy the seeds and you put it in the bald areas back there and you fill in
bold patches like that.
Yeah.
And that's a big bold patch though.
Right back there.
Yeah.
And then you rake it into the soil and then you give it a good soak.
Yeah.
And then you let the water soak in and then you come 15 minutes later and you give it another soak and then you let it soak because that helps bring the seeds down into the soil. There's like a fertilizer attached to them and it activates the fertilizer. I have to do this 1 or 2 more times.
Before it activates?
Fully activates. My guess is it's activated, but
I want it to be fully activated.
And they say in 10 days we should start to see some growth. The box is in the recycling, but if you open it, it's right on top.
Well, let's go find the seeds in the recycling. Rummaging through garbage for YouTube. This is the lawn patch repair kit that we got at Wilco. And we have 3 boxes of this. Okay, and you just spread it on the lawn?
Spread it in the
What's inside?
patches that you want.
What does it look like?
Smells kind of
Lawn seeds.
smells like fertilizer.
There you go, lawn patch repair kit. This is what we have been using. This is what the garden looks like. It looks very nice and very well kept. We also have our deck back, our little seating area here. We've made that bit nice. And we've got this bay leaf tree. What else is new? This is a climbing rose that our friend Christiana gave us. We're gonna have to plant that soon. And then our roses are kind of coming through. Not much has changed, but it has been quite nice being outside these weeks when we've been stuck in the house. The plan is to do a review of the other books that I've been reading and let you know what our plans are in terms of how we're thinking about measuring the garden and creating working documents that have the measurements of the garden, and then we can easily start playing around with different ideas. We've had some very interesting conversations with some members of our family who own a landscaping company. They gave us lots of food for thought in terms of things that we want to do. So we are just weighing up ideas and options right now, and obviously given the quarantine it's pretty difficult to get a hold of. Hey, you want to hold this while I talk? Here, I got myself a human tripod. Is that alright with you? So we're just weighing up options of what we want to do and the things we want to change in the garden. Here's some of the options that we have been considering. This is the door to the dining room. So as we walk out, what are the things we want to change? This step.
It's gonna no longer be here.
No,
We're gonna move and make it bigger here so that there's a flow from the doors to a step here. We're thinking maybe an urn and an urn here with some kind of interesting foliage, and then all this brown area to the rim to fill in with grass. So the only area for planting are in the 2 urns and along here. Then another idea is to, because this is so hard to grow back, this lawn under the trees, is to square off to make the lawn rectangle square. The idea would be to maybe knock where the tree is flat, so that becomes lawn. So it would just be a perfect square there. Have thick foliage in the back. That fence would be gray, but thick foliage so you don't see it, and then smaller plants coming forward to this kind of square that will be here. This area here where there's a little rise.
This one?
Yeah, this little area. Making that a step and a little paved area like with stone. That would have two matching urns on either side, leading to a path that kind of meanders
To the end.
to the end. And there would be foliage on each side of that path.
Just love the word foliage.
In the back there, I'm going to raise that up so you don't see the spiky fence or the junkyard back there. And that's going to be a humongous piece of outdoor art.
Well, speaking of outdoor art, there are a few updates. That is Yellow Man is in the back there, and it is looking beaut. We've also got this huge oil painting here, just where we've got a little seating area. And also this fence, Garrett has grand plans of painting it grey. The reason we want to paint it grey is because in our house there's quite a lot of grey paint on the walls and in various decorative elements. One of the books I've been reading from the pile that I showed you in my previous video was talking about this transition between the indoors and the outdoors and creating a story that carries through between the garden and the house. So we want to create that unifying colour to bring those together.
Now the question for the back there, if we build that big piece of outdoor art, do we put like a little table and two chairs back there, kind of a sitting area, or make that path go to a sculpture? Draws your attention.
Maybe a swing in the back there?
We could make that a play area, that's another thing.
We've got a new hose. Oh yeah.
It's not on at the moment. It does work better than that.
This looks really good. We've connected it to our only water source outside the house.
Come here and turn around.
So this area looks bleak.
So the
AF.
idea is to build a fence along here, higher, that's not see-through. Build maybe a fence from the end of the house across. Have planting boxes all along the side here. Planting boxes strategically along the side there where we can. We can have a series of planting boxes there. And the idea being that this becomes herbs and vegetables.
It gets quite a bit of sun.
It gets all the morning sun.
Speaking of sun.
In the summer it gets
Hello.
sun all the time. But the other option is to make the path along the house side, keep things dry, and have one row of beds and then another row of beds with another little path. So there's like two paths.
These we're planning to also create a little shed for.
Yeah, at the end.
So it's first of all closer to the street, but also just because they look so ugly. Well, that's it, folks. Well, baby's crying now, so we're gonna go take care of her, but I'll be back soon.